you guys. And yeah, anyways, we do have a patron deck from Nicholas S that I figured we'd take a look at too. Maybe we could start doing that too on the show. Here we go. It's a Paladin deck, and here's Hearthstone. We have it on Hearthstone here. Okay, it looks like it's a dragon deck here. Okay, you guys see it?
I do now.
Okay, cool. All right, it's your pretty standard dragon deck. Actually, what do you guys think about just dragon and paladin?
Standard. I mean, Selfless Hero. The
Selfless
one of
Hero?
Argent Lance I really
Okay.
like, because I find that Paladin needs to fill that curve a lot more readily, even if they play. He's
Oh,
not
Argent
playing
Lance,
the.
that's true, yeah.
He's not playing the Fairy Dragons.
Yeah, that's true. How many dragons does he have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I feel like
6, 7, 8.
Selfless
He's got a
Hero
lot of
gets even
dragons,
better
actually.
with Fairy Dragon.
Well,
Like,
you need a lot of dragons because you got the Nightbane Templar and the Blackwing Technician.
Yeah.
Only one equality is kind of scary, but I guess you're trying to curve out really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dragon Paladin's near and dear to my heart. I would love to see it work. I was a little disappointed with Nightbane Templar. It kind of worked out in the Shaman metagame where they have Maelstrom Portal just to clean up those 1/1s.
Yeah.
I know.
next expansion. I mean, if Shaman gets cleaned up by Priest, then you can bring this back. You can make it work.
I honestly think some of the buffs, the 1/1 buffs, like the cards that we saw, the Grime Street not Informant, whichever ones give 1/1. So
Recruiter,
like, yeah,
the one that
yeah,
did +1/+1
yeah,
every
exactly.
time.
I think that it could help these dragons. I mean, 4/7 Twilight Guardian, 6/6 Black Dragon Consorts. I mean,
4/6 Blackwing Tech. Yikes! That's
those
painful.
that's pretty good, man. That's actually
Blackwing Tech is
it's
a
even hard for
4/6.
Zoo to remove some of those minions, at least efficiently. So yeah, so he's got Ysera at the end. I don't know. What do you guys think? Any kind of recommendations for him?
It looks like a pretty solid start to a Dragon Paladin. There's a lot of 3-drops. That's one thing I noticed. So maybe one of those gets cut for something else. But like all of these cards are like a lot of it makes sense together and the way it's put together. I think it's probably not fully optimized, but this is a really good start.
Yeah.
What do you think, Firebat? What would you change?
That I find odd.
I'd want to increase the amount of things on 2. And I don't know how valuable only having 2 1-drops really is, especially, Selfless Hero doesn't really interact well with your 2-drops all that much. You got Argent Lance on 2 plus Selfless Hero don't work well together. Yeah, Squire would be a lot better, something that can be buffed and stick around and be annoying. And
Finley.
Because you don't use the Death Rattle from Selfless Hero if there's nothing else there.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So,
So you just want to stick your minion like Argent Squire.
Yeah, because like the 1/2 curve right now doesn't make a whole lot of sense with the interactions. So you kind of got to pick when do you want to start your curve, because like it doesn't really start until 3, right? Because on 2 you're either developing a weapon, you have the Ooze, which is more of a tech card, you got a quality, and then you got Historians, which oftentimes aren't active on 2 because you only have 8 dragons, I think it was, or it might be 9. But yeah, it's not active like 100% of the time on 2 with 9. I don't remember the exact number because I haven't memed with dragons in a while, but
I want to say I really like Ooze in this deck. I think that's a great choice for a couple of reasons. One, weapon destruction is generally good in this metagame, but Ooze in particular is better than Harrison in this deck. A, because you don't have enough 2-drops. B, because you have too many 5-drops, and those are kind of unavoidable problems. It's just the nature of the cards available to Dragon Paladin.
Dragon Paladin is limited.
And also, the C would be just like Spirit Claws is like the most popular weapon out there right now. It comes down on turn 1, so having a turn 2 Ooze for it is like the perfect way to answer it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of Chillmaw in this? And you like
Chillmaw deals too much
almost,
damage to your own board.
I'd almost prefer like Rag
in this
than Ysera,
this deck specifically, I think Paladin is probably the one class where Chillmaw is more detrimental oftentimes, because playing it from behind doesn't win you the game unless you're N'Zoth, right? And you're going to bring it back right away in your very late game. But in the Dragon deck specifically, it takes, like, if it dealt damage to everything that wasn't the Dragon, I'd be like, yeah, sure, try it out.
Yeah.
Cool. Because it also targets your own stuff, it's pretty painful.
Okay. Yeah, so add some stuff to the early game. And
the top end's strong. You're not going to get out top end by a lot of things. You got Ysera and Tyrion, and against like Control Warrior, you can save Netherspite Historian to combo with Brian and get 2 more big ass dragons, and then use the other one and get 2 more big ass dragons.
Feels good.
You can out threat any deck with these sort of Paladin decks.
That's true.
The problem is, keeping up with the board early on. If you don't want to play the whole 2 equalities and tons of board sweeps and heal package, then you have to have strong enough early game to stop your opponent from snowballing. So things in there that can prevent them from snowballing the board.
Yeah.
So maybe you don't need the Acera in this deck because it's like
That's
a big
what I
slow
mean.
guy. You're going to die a lot. And also you have the Netherspite Historian for the matchups where you want a big slow guy. So maybe you could get rid of the...
You need 9 dragons. You need 9, 10, or 11 dragons.
Well, you could play some other dragon instead.
Fairy dragon.
Sure.
One other dragon. Yeah,
Fairy dragon. There we
I
go.
think Fairy Dragons
Put
will
in
work.
2 fairy dragons.
Yeah. Usually between Blackwing Technician and Netherspite Historian, you choose one or the other in a lot of these kind of decks. Having
Really?
both is a lot. Yeah, because you have
No, I don't
he has
think so.
Aldor too, so it's
I think I'd cut
Wow.
2 heroes. I'd put in 2 fairy dragons, cut Sarah, play at second equality, and we're good. Like that's probably the
Yeah, it works
recommendation
too.
I'd go with. For a
On the
simple
topic of
deck.
Blackwing Technician, I've played a little bit of Dragon Paladin. I found the Blackwing Technician was stronger than the Nightbane Templar.
me too.
So I might cut
100%.
the Templar first.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, hopefully that helps out, Nicholas. And actually, we had a mech card. We're not doing mech tours, but we actually do have a mech card that was submitted to us. So 1-drop, Realm of Cho'Gall.
I can't
It's-
see it on the
okay.
screen.
Oh,
You have to
actually,
move it a
it's
bit to
cut
the
over.
right.
Yeah, it's cut off a little bit. Let me move it over.
What's its cost?
It's a 1 mana. It's a 1 mana.
1 mana.
Yeah, 1 mana.
Bonkers. That is insane. Karakazam turn 1.
Yeah, is it? I guess. I
Yeah,
guess
you
I-
could just carry Kazambi for turn 1.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
That'd be
man.
insane. Oh man, that would be nasty.
Oh,
Yeah, this could get banned so quickly.
It would
Also,
get. Oh, this,
I'm really
imagine
triggered
that
by
might
spelling
fly,
on
but
this.
lose.
Like lose has 1-0.
Yeah,
Killing
lose
me.
one. That's true. Hold on. Lose 3 life. The next spell you cast. Oh man, yeah.
okay,
So,
so
yeah.
in a nutshell, what this spell does, for those of you who are listening, it's 1 mana spell for Warlock. You lose 3 life, so you pay 3 life, and the next spell you cast this turn will cost you health instead of mana. So the point is, you basically get Shogal's effect for 1 mana for 1 turn. But the reason
kind of-
Shogal was costed 7 is not because they wanted to make it bad, it's because the effect is broken. If it's too cheap.
Yeah,
and I mean
the effect is
broken.
extremely good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
this would have-
It's only good if there's cards that can support it. And right now, really, the only card that supports this effect is Karakazam.
I would argue that you could Bane of
what
Doom.
about
Doom.
Doom.
Doom's pretty good too.
I'd pay 13 for a Doom.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
13 life Doom, then develop the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
heck yeah.
I
Especially
win.
behind.
You're dead.
I win.
I
You're
do
dead.
them for free, then I
Wow.
get 2 tournament medics and life.
That's
chat
a
myself.
pretty good
That is pretty
card
good.
in like Reno Lock, right? You
Yeah.
can just
or,
do
or,
that plus
or just
Doom.
Shadow Flame. Like it's hard to play minion plus Shadow Flame, but Realm of Cho'Gall minion Shadow Flame.
Sure.
Yeah, that'd be great too.
Just
it's-
any
it's too
spell.
much
This card
swing.
is like more broken than Innervate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It would, because
it
it just
is.
saves more mana than Innervate.
Exactly. All right. Well, cool. Definitely great. And again, like we're taking some decks and custom cards from patrons. So
I
all
love the
patrons are
concept.
listening.
It needs to be
Yeah.
rebalanced.
Yeah.
Is that like at 2 mana? Is it just bad suddenly?
No,
Okay.
nope.
Where-
I'm
No,
excited
it's
about
still
this card
good.
at 2 mana.
It's
Where
still
does it
good.
become
I mean, you're not going to use this card early game, anyways, right? Like,
I'm gonna try
Reese's-
really hard to use it early game.
well, maybe. Well, okay.
I'd say it
like
Karakazam,
at
yeah.
4 mana, it's probably fine.
yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Okay.
You can still use it with Doom.
You're still not going to use it until like turn 4
Turn
or turn
I
four,
guess
5.
with
yeah.
3
mean,
mana,
it's-
it starts becoming.
I think this might be able to cost 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 3 is
where
probably
it's
the line.
like the like where it's powerful but not completely broken.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely keeps the cards like this, and I mean, Cho'Gall obviously to a degree too keeps the design of spells in like limited
check.
too. Like they
Really hard.
can't come out with some powerful 8, 9, 10 mana spell because of it. So, like in addition to Twisting Nether and Doom right now, I wish they would.
Imagine
Because of the
discovering this
Div,
with
but-
the cross-class
The cross-
cards.
yes. Or even
Oh my
Peddler at
God.
1 mana.
Oh
That'd be
my
sick.
god,
and
the
Mage.
class. What is it with? What is Warlock with? Mage.
Mage and Shaman.
Oh my god, Mage. That would be crazy.
Mage.
I'm gonna stop you right there. Take the Spiral Blast. All right.
Exactly.
Got 'em.
Definitely good. Okay, well, why don't we take a couple questions and we'll call it a day. All right, viewer Q&A, guys. Go ahead and tweet your questions or go ahead and type some out in chat. Noxious, you mind, or Zalae, mind checking out the chat for any questions?
Chat was really excited about a new card that recently got revealed. It was
Okay.
like a 4-mana 4/4 that gained attack when something happened, and it's just not good. So that's why I didn't really talk about it earlier.
Which one
Oh.
was? Which card was that?
The backroom bouncer.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Backroom bouncer.
4-mana 4/4. Whenever a friendly minion dies, gain +1 attack. So it kind of reminds you of what is it, Flesh Eating Ghoul, that 3-mana 2/3.
Oh
That's
yeah,
exactly
The
yeah.
point
yeah.
is, it's a 4-mana 4-health minion that's not really going to get any value. This is an arena card, and I don't know.
Oh, one thing.
You can evaluate it for that, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
Good old
But-
arena.
One thing I had to mention, like I think some of these cards are actually quite good in Arena. Like when I was just kind of browsing through them, I felt like even we were reviewing them, Noxious last week. I felt like we said that it was a good Arena card several times. So they obviously, took Arena a lot more into account this time around too, which is really
I don't think
good.
they're gonna give too much care about Arena for at least another year. Because last time when they
Rarity
released
they
it,
have.
Damn.
when they
Yeah.
released all of the stats about Arena, and they like had the people that were the top rank and all of the different classes and all of that yada yada, they kind of said, like, people asked, "Are you going to be doing this often? Is this something that we can expect happening, every month or every 6 months or something?" And they're like, "Nope, no plans on ever doing it again. Just kind of a thing we did." So it's like,
Yeah.
if there's no stats, there's no ranking, there's no ladder system in Arena, then why would people care about Arena?
So I will say this though about like cards like these is Blizzard probably right now in their like design pile ready to print, they have like 5,000 cards and they're all just iterations on the fundamental basic effects like Knife Juggler. Oh, they have a 3-mana juggler in there, right? Like somewhere in there's a 3-mana juggler and they have to decide when they want to print it. That's it. Like there's no thought behind, do I make this juggler? Is it like how complex is it? It's just, all right, we need like 15 to 20 filler cards in this set. Let's go ahead and fetch. And they fetch. And that's really just it. So when you see these cards, it's not so much that like there's nothing, you're not supposed to come up with a deck that beats people. Great if you do, right? But that would have been more doable with stuff like Ancient Shade, right? Like where it's a huge attack 4-drop and you still didn't play it. They gave you an opportunity to try to do something with it and you couldn't. So when you see this card, you should just look at it as like a worse Ancient Shade in many aspects. And really there isn't much design thought that goes into it, and that's fine. We need arena cards, we need filler, we need fundamentally easy to understand cards for every set, and that's one of those.
Of course. All right, T. Jefferson, skipped leg day, asked, do you guys think that Blizzard is hurting their main streets of Gadgetzan pre-orders given no Amazon coin iTunes purchases and no card back?
Sure.
Yeah.
Always.
Have you ever
Amazon coin purchases? I like Amazon a lot.
Yeah. Yes, Amazon coin purchases.
You would,
absolutely,
you would.
they're hurting it. They're hurting it. They should absolutely allow for Amazon coin purchases. I mean, to some degree, of course. Just the more, the more ability you can, or the more promotion or whatnot.
But there's a
that you can
promo,
use.
but it's not like Hearthstone based. Like, because I know Amazon is releasing it. They've got a promo for like $25. You can get $50 worth of it.
Yeah.
Curse is running that. I think you can check it out on Hearthstone. It's still on their front page.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's like nighttime over there. Man, now that the clocks changed or whatnot, everything is like super dark now outside at this time. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's during the course of the show. It was.
I know
nighttime, and now it's
it was
just
totally
black
bright in the room.
outside.
It's so funny. Raging Pianist has bolster meta with all the new taunt minions for Warrior. Is bolster viable, basically?
Bolster's bad forever, and it's not going to change. But Stolen Goods is good.
I don't want to say it's bad forever. They could print something that's good with it, but random taunt minions don't make bolster better. You could already like play 28 taunt minions and 2 bolsters if you wanted, and that's not a good thing because their taunt minions aren't that great on their own. But also, like for a taunt minion to be good with bolster, it needs to actually continue to be in play the next turn. Usually, when you play a minion, your opponent kills it on their next turn, and then you play another minion and they kill it. So for a taunt minion to be good with bolster, you want it to be something like Dread Corsair, where it's really cheap. And so you can play it and bolster in the same turn together. Or maybe you play some Death Rattle minion your opponent doesn't want to kill, and then you sparring partner it and play that with bolster in the same turn and get a lot of value that way. So you really need cheap taunts for bolster to be good. Protect the King can be a source of cheap taunts, but random 5-mana 2/7 taunts that probably die almost every time don't make bolster any better.
Agreed.
And one of the big problems with Taunt Reader as a concept in general is Taunt has less value the more taunts you have. Like the first taunt's really good, protects things and actually does stuff, and the second taunt does not protect the first taunt. They can attack either one they want. It's like having no taunt.
That's true.
If everything has taunt, nothing has taunt. So then you're paying stats for a keyword that does nothing.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good point.
Now it's always been the issue with taunt. Just that keyword is, it's kind of it's undervalued. It's not very powerful, yet you pay a cost for it in the form of the body's reduced or just the mana cost, right?
I mean, for the longest part of a game anyway, every minion has taunt. Like for a very long portion of every game.
Until you take a value trade in the mid game, like
exactly.
like when you take a trade with like a 4/5 into something and kill something, and it's left at 2 health, and then you get to just slam a taunt down instead of having to remove your opponent's small minion that could trade into it. That's where taunt pays dividends. Now your opponent's forced to use a removal spell to react to that minion, because it's threatening to take another value trade if they try and develop. So you're forcing them to be reactionary and swinging tempo with the threat of the taunt stopping a value trade. And that's when it has huge value, but that means you need to have high stat minion, which takes trade, and then you play taunt afterwards. You don't go
That's
taunt
one of the
into
things.
taunt.
This is one of the things that Shaman really exploits. Not exactly what Firebat's saying, but the idea that taunt not just protects your face, but also protects your minions. The feral spirits, the taunt totem, the thing from below, all protect your flame tongue and mana tide, which are otherwise very vulnerable without a taunt in the way to protect them.
Yeah. Protect the king, guys. What about protect the king?
Yeah.
You mean when I'm behind, I can be slightly less behind and not dictate trades? That sounds great.
Yeah. Okay, one last one here. Let's see. Anything? Well, I
How
guess.
good would protect the king of Venice with 2/2s?
What?
Instead of 1/1s. If protect the king was a bunch of 2/2s instead.
Oh, that's a very different card.
It'd be busted.
Well, I mean,
it'd be good at that point.
Then it would require your opponent to have 2 minions to get above average value.
Exactly.
Instead of 4.
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah,
Actually,
I wish
the
it
new
was
the
better.
bruiser guy, the bruiser guy, the 4/5 that comes for cheaper when you have more minions on the board. That's basically a better protect the king.
And it's still unplayable.
Right. And it's still not amazing. So.
Well, any card where it's like it's reduced whenever you're behind is, in theory, like it makes sense, but no, I think in practice it's usually
Shadow Flame, like Reno Warlock maybe.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's
if
definitely
they have a lot of things in the board, it's discounted, so you can combo with Shadow Flame more easily.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, like gimmicky as Ancient Watcher.
Let's see,
not as good as Ancient Watcher or Duskboard.
See, any other questions? Here we go. A couple more here. I'm gonna summon. What would you think about a priest spell, 2 mana, summon 2 Light Wardens? Wow, that'd be pretty good.
Sounds powerful.
I think
pretty
that would
good.
Compare
that to Echoing News. It's like
oh my god,
way stronger.
Yeah. It's really good.
And this is actually a spell, right? So it's making your Arcane Giants cheaper.
Good old Arcane Giant Aggro Priest.
Zalae was playing Arcane Giant Priest. I'm telling you. Zalae, for those who don't know, is the guy who plays all Priest all day, every day.
Okay.
And he was playing Arcane Giants in his Priest.
That's true.
So
I played it in.
Give him that tool.
I've tried it before. It's actually not too bad.
Light Warden's a scary card.
Remember when Warsong Commander was a thing back in
I was just going to bring that up.
Yeah, exactly.
People all the time, like I would play a lot of Priest in that metagame because people were like, Priest counters Patron, but it really doesn't. But like, but like the bad kids said Priest countered Patron, and I'd play it for fun, and you'd get OTK'd a lot, but sometimes you're able to Thog steal a Warsong Commander, and you can go Warsong Commander, Light Warden, and then like damage everything with a Pyro and heal everything, and just OTK him back and get him with your own frothing OTK first.
It was like Light of the Naru back then.
Light of the Naru.
You would Light of the Naru your face and then just blow everything. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Light of the Naru is that's such a cool card. Even Holy Champion. I wish those cards were good enough. You could actually, you buff attack. You buff attack, but give them charge. Okay, so I guess I've got a question. So, a couple questions actually. Are you guys excited about Priest based on these Priest cards we've seen?
Yeah, sure.
Oh no, I'm scared.
I'm just scared of them.
They're pushing Dragon Priest, which is like not the kind of priest I get
exactly.
excited about.
Dragon Priest is the boring kind of priest, and it looks really good. But even still, like the new Light Bomb is going to be great in regular Priest as well.
Yeah, but are people going to play
Fire
regular Priest?
I will.
I will for sure.
What's a regular priest? What is a regular priest?
It's like priest stuff we see now. There is no real regular priest, right? Like it's always changing. But yeah, that Light Bomb E card, that 6 mana AoE removal is good in like any kind of priest. Not just
Like you're not on the board, you're priest.
Yeah.
So like you don't care that it doesn't.
Dude,
play your
how about
dragons.
that? How about that 5-drop? That's a 5/6
It's not
battlecraft
worth
Dragon
my
Priest.
Dragon
Discover
Priest.
a card.
I'm not even gonna go there, dude. I don't want to play.
Dragon Priest looks good.
Yeah, Dragon Priest is
I
disgusting.
refuse.
But actually,
Yeah,
one of my
there's-
favorite cards that we didn't talk about was the other potion that -3 attack.
Oh
Pint
yeah,
size.
Pint size
when Dragon
potion.
Priest has the board,
Man.
they get a lot of value trades.
Yeah, Pint Size is basically another circle of healing for that deck, except it's preemptive, and that's pretty busted.
Yeah, that thing is awesome. I think it definitely adds a lot of value to all kinds of cards for Priest. All right, second question. Why have they not released any Shaman cards yet?
Yeah, I can't figure it out myself.
So is the theory they're powerful, or is
They
it
don't
just
want to release them. They
good
were
strategy?
powerful, then they realized we can't show those. And we're gonna get fucking
I
eaten
God, I
alive.
hope they're not powerful. Please.
I want 0/1 totems that deal damage to their own face and have no positive effect.
Shaman is favored in every matchup except against Freeze Mage.
Which
Okay,
is a
so-
terrible, unplayable deck.
So would
Yes,
it?
That's
So would
literally where we're at.
would it have
Every
been better?
matchup in the entire game of Hearthstone that's considered a legend deck that is played with any amount of consistency, Shaman is favored against.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so would it have
They
been
haven't
better
touched a Reno
strategy?
Cthulhu lock.
I mean, I thought it was good strategy for them not to include
It's
it.
actually on the spreadsheet.
Damn it!
Cthulhu? Cthulhu?
It goes
Oh,
deep.
God.
Shaman's good deck.
Shaman's good deck. Yeah, so I thought it was good strategy for them not to include it for BlizzCon, but would it have been better to add one of the bad Shaman cards in the actual release? Or just not include any of
Those
them?
get people hyped, unless they're barraging us with bad cards. They're like, all right, here we go, guys. Get ready for the fun moment. Here are all the 5 unplayables. Laugh at them.
You get a Shaman Murloc. Yeah.
And have a field
baby.
day.
Yeah.
I
exactly.
actually, you know what's funny is I was really, the day Counterfeit Coin was announced or shown,
Yeah.
people on Reddit, and that must be like the dumbest segment of Rogue players, kept saying that was not a good Rogue card and that we should just remove it from the game. And Blizzard
People said that?
doesn't know what they're doing. You should have seen the hate
People said
for
that?
that card. I
Wow.
don't know why. I was just
Why?
like, have you really played Rogue? Okay,
Some
again,
people
I'm not
have
saying it's
strong
not-
opinions. They really overestimate their ability to analyze stuff. And
but I don't
They're
mind
confident.
them saying the
Even
card
with
is not
Gadgetzan
necessary.
here, like Coin Esser Drake backstab while
Coin's-
going
while
first
go-
is
Yeah.
freaking insane.
So
I mean,
I don't know,
there's-
man. I don't know. It's one of those things where there's a lot of hatred
It's
of
half
cards
an
that make
innervate.
sense, and I think
I mean,
people
Van
will have
Cleave
the
is
same
amazing.
negative reaction towards bad shaman cards. Some
Yeah.
people will say this bad shaman card should not be printed, even though we've had like nothing but support.
If
for the class
Innervate
in the
gave
past.
only 1 mana, would you still play Innervate?
In Druid, I might not. I don't know. In Rogue though, with prep, it doubles up on the retardation. So yeah.
I think it's a lot better in Rogue than Druid. I don't know about
A lot better in Rogue because of the Gadgetzan, right? But
Yeah.
And the prep
a lot of
already
things.
being there.
The Van Cleef.
Gadgetzan,
The
Van Cleef, questing,
the questing.
combos.
Yeah, exactly. There's a million things.
Why don't we
The
play
synergizes
questing in
well.
Druid?
You don't cycle as much, but it's probably a consideration to play questing in Druid.
Never even tried.
Yeah.
Conceal, I guess, is the one.
When we
reason.
played Violet Teacher, I mean, it's
Innervate, questing, coin, living roots, kill your guy is a good turn.
yeah, that is a pretty good turn. All right. Well, thanks for everybody for writing in all the questions. Again, like next week we're gonna start doing some emails, so go ahead and email that to. I'll go ahead and link it here. But for those of you listening, valuetown@chanmanv.tv, and we'll start taking those, queuing those up, or getting a list of those for next week. All right. Why don't we wrap up, guys? Good show. Definitely a good. Well, this is the second Value Town that we started talking about new cards, and we still got, I don't know how many more cards we got. We still got about 80 cards to still reveal or still be revealed. So plenty of, or at least maybe 3 more weeks of talking about cards. Why don't we just start off with you, Firebat? Shoutouts.
Shout out to Cloud9, shout out to Hearthstone, shout out to Value Town, shout out to Stuff, shout out to Blizzard. New set looks sweet.
Amazon.
That's about it.
We forgot
And
Amazon.
Amazon, great coins.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, they pay like
They
they pay the entire
paying-
Hearthstone scene, right?
Yeah.
Like with their whole coins promotion, like every streamer made money off that, which is really cool.
Did I?
So
I don't think I did.
you didn't get any Amazon Prime subs?
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
No, I thought you were talking about other stuff. No, you mean Amazon
Yeah.
Prime. I thought you were like Amazon paid a bunch of streamers. I'm like, oh really? Have they?
No, they like pseudo paid everybody.
Yes,
Pseudo
yes,
paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm getting real money from it.
I know. I mean, they literally doubled subs just in
like
one day.
almost everybody.
It's
yeah.
crazy. It's literally crazy. Okay. Zalae, you want to do some shout outs?
Shout out to Team Luminosity, and also shout out to all the new Patreons and supporters who really listened last week when we said, this, it's fun for us, but it's also work, and we need to get paid for us to continue doing it. And you guys listened and reacted, and I appreciate that. So thank you to all the supporters of the show. That's it for me.
Noxious.
Shout out to you for putting together the show notes as usual and getting everybody together. Also, shout out to Blizzard for what I think so far looks to be the best set design-wise that you've made. I think
Ever?
For me, it's a no contest. It's better than Nax, better than
Whoa.
GVG.
Ever?
Better than
Wow.
LOE.
LOE.
I would argue so far that because LOE was an adventure, like the amount of cards
Okay.
in LOE that were good is typical of what I expect out of an adventure. But out of the whole, 130 plus card sets, this is the only one that I look at and think good design across the board. Even though it may not be highly competitive at every turn, this is by far, I think, their best design set.
Okay.
It's just so refreshing after Karazhan, right?
Yeah. Definitely
And
reactionary.
even
it's
after
best.
Whispers,
A big,
honestly, if you
deep
give me the
pile
choice.
of garbage.
Wow.
Spirit Claws isn't garbage.
Yeah.
So it's
They have good cards. I mean, as far as like shaping the metagame and balancing and interesting mechanics, all of the Karazhan cards, except maybe Silverware Golem, were real boring.
Silverware was cool. I'll give you that.
And
much.
even though it's cool, it just creates some silly high roll deck.
That's true.
Anyway,
That's true.
point is, shout out to
Anyways,
Blizzard for that.
yeah.
And again, shout out to you guys for showing up.
Yeah, and anyways, I'll round things out. Thanks to Firebat, Zalae, and Noxious for being on the show with me this week. And I'll piggyback on the fact that I think this expansion is extremely good too, and just cards that require just more thinking and more prep and more deck building or whatnot is basically what we've all been looking for in the community. And it seems, at least what we've seen so far in the first 50 cards or whatnot, it has really presented that. So kudos to them for that. Hopefully the next 80 will be in the similar light. Definitely hoping for that. I'll also, just like Zalae, just thank all the folks that contributed to the Patreon this past week. I mean, just that large amount of support is just, it's just amazing, given that, the history of what we've seen in the past. So, and there's definitely a lot of you guys out there that really do, love the show, and that's just, makes me feel good, and that's important, that I feel good doing the show and everything.
Yes,
so,
indeed.
So thanks for all those folks that did that. Thanks for the folks that also, sent in decks and sent in cards. We want to continue doing that on the show, and we can't do that if you don't send it in, so. Thanks for that. And then VODs, we're going to be on YouTube. So youtube.com/ChanManV. You'll find those shortly after the show. And then the audios will be up by tomorrow. You'll see that also on iTunes and Google Android. A lot of folks that have the direct feed will see it tonight, but iTunes always takes like 24 hours. Okay, guys, that's going to be it for Value Town. So for Firebat, Zalae, Noxious, and myself, ChanManV, we'll see you next time. Later.
All right. See you guys.
He's like, I need.
Vanished into the night.